Hi guys, let's tell everyone that we're live. Let's do this. Right, so it's Louis in the UK, 57 years old. I'm an Elvis fan, have been for over 50 years. I owe Elvis everything. It's a long story, guys, but it's true. Elvis, in his own way, without knowing it, saved my life. And this is part of the reason I have so much passion to defend Elvis. The main reason I have so much passion to defend Elvis is because of you guys, the Elvis fans, who convinced me that I had blinkers on. I didn't see the truth. So when I was making my videos and shorts, not properly understanding the wrongdoing that had happened to Elvis from so many different people, you guys were there shouting at me, you need to get your facts right. You need to know the truth. I'm just letting everyone know we're live. Hi, Jane. I'm going to tell a story this morning, Jane. Let me just tell everyone. I'm going to give people a chance. And the title, hi, Emily. Hope you're well. Guys, I hope you got your coffees ready. I think I've got about an hour. Unless the kids come in, unless the wife comes in. Now, we've all heard of the GRACELAND scammer, haven't we? Well, we're going to talk about a scammer today. I want a few more people to join us. Just let's let a few people more join us. I'm going to play you just some movie trailers. Let me just get them up. At first, you may not understand why I'm playing them. Let's have a look. Do any of you remember the TV series? I think it was an American one called Sliders. And it was about people able to travel through a time portal. Let's just play it. I'm going to play a couple of things just to set the mood, yeah? Let's have a look.
What if you found a portal to a parallel universe? What if you could slide into 1,000 different worlds where it's the same year and you're the same person, but everything else is different? And what if you can't find your way home?
Hi, Jean. Many of you remember it? A very famous back a while ago. I can't remember when. Let's have a look if it says a year. It was in the 90s, yeah? Alternate realities. A parallel universe. I mentioned it on our last live stream. Let me play you something else.
Back to the Future, a Robert Zemeckis film. Marty leads an ordinary life.
No McFly ever amounted to anything in the history of Hill Valley. History is going to change.
And 1985 is not his year. But Dr. Brown is about to change all that.
Are you telling me that you built a time machine? Out of a DeLorean?
He's sending Marty 30 years back in time.
It's a flying saucer from outer space!
Now, he's trapped in the past.
It's gotta be a dream.
About to meet
Chocolate.
his future father.
He's a peeping Tom.
And he's making an impression on his mother.
An absolute dream. And he can sleep in my room. do you do? Because I have serious repercussions on the future. Now,
Nice coffee, guys.
And father fall in love. I haven't even been born yet. And only Dr. Brown can help him get back to the future. You tell me that this sucker is nuclear? Precisely. Michael J. Fox. Christopher Lloyd. Why are these reading the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull? Back to the future.
Now, let me just play you something else. Now, guys, this is what I'm trying to say. Something has happened. In 1959, Elvis Presley met Priscilla Presley, Priscilla Bulow, the daughter of an Air Force pilot, I think. Was that his job in Germany? And how can I say it? I think that was a pivotal moment. I'm not sure how long they knew each other for, between 2 and 6 months. A very brief friendship. Now, the knock-on effect that this had for the rest of Elvis's life and the legacy of Elvis's future, so right until 2024, has been massive. The reverberations, you know, like when you drop a stone in a pond and the ripple effect. The ripple effect of Elvis meeting Priscilla Bulow has been so massive that, in my opinion, time has been warped. I know this sounds extreme. Time has been twisted. We don't know the real truth. We've been spoon-fed and misled, in my opinion, for entertainment purposes. I want you guys to know that everything I say now is for entertainment purposes and is my opinion, some of your opinions. Now, I don't know how it happened. I don't understand it. I'm trying to understand it. Since I've become defending Elvis Presley, I've been trying to get my head around. And I'm going to use the word bizarre because I think what's happened to Elvis for the last, you work it out, since 1959 to today, yeah? Is that 65 years? Yeah, not just since he died, since he met Priscilla. I think the unimaginable has happened, has come true. Now, let me just play one more thing. There's a few things I'm going to play you because I want to set the mood for what I'm trying to tell, because I'm going to tell you a story. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to my kitchen. We're going to have a little story time. I'm not sure how long we've got. I need over an hour. But if my wife comes in and wants to cook and blah, 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 we may be cut short for a part 2. I'm going to just keep going. I think you're going to find this a bit interesting. Now, let me just play you something else. I've stored a few things on here. Let's just get to... let's have some fun together over a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. Get yourselves a coffee. Get yourselves a tea. Right. Let's get some volume on this. Is it going to let me? Right. 1 second, guys.
You're going to get some criticism no matter what you... Sale of Graceland, his nearly 14-acre estate, and exactly 47 years since the king of rock and roll died in Memphis.
After a private service at his home, a funeral procession led by 17 white limousines.
Today, authorities arresting a Missouri woman accused of trying to shake down Elvis Presley's family of millions of dollars and hold a fraudulent sale of Graceland, his nearly 14-acre estate and now national treasure. As part of the alleged elaborate and brazen scheme, federal officials say 53-year-old Lisa Janine Finley forged signatures of Elvis Presley's daughter and a notary, filed a fake creditor's claim and deed of trust, and even advertised an imminent auction of Graceland in the local paper in May, falsely claiming that Elvis Presley's daughter, Lisa Marie, had pledged the historic landmark as collateral for a loan that she failed to repay before her death. Priscilla Presley posting at the time, "It's a scam." Years ago, she reflected on what Graceland meant to her ex-husband.
Behind the gates, this is where he felt comfortable. Behind the gates, he could just be who he was.
According to the criminal complaint, Finley operated under a slew of aliases, including executives for the fictional company Nosany Investments. When the plot was clearly unraveling and a judge halted the foreclosure sale, a so-called Greg Nosany told NBC News that he was part of a ring of Nigerian identity thieves, emailing in Spanish, "We sit back and laugh at you idiots." But the Department of Justice alleging today, the whole time, it was Finley. NBC News went to her Missouri home back in June. When confronted about Graceland, she said, "I have no earthly idea what you're talking about." Finley faces mail fraud and aggravated identity theft charges, which could carry 2 decades in prison time. Her attorney did not respond to our requests for comment. Tom?
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories.
We sure will.
NBC News
Right.
app.
And I'm going to show you another clip, then we're going to start talking. Let's make sure that the clip is working. Now, this is a video I made
Or follow us on
quite a while ago. Let's see if it's going to come up.
You're going to get some criticism no matter what you do. I felt you're going to get.
Right, I'm gonna play this a couple of times. It's very short. It's basically saying that Priscilla saved Graceland, and it was her idea to launch the museum, living museum at Graceland, and also that she saved his legacy. Let me just, and this shows the parents saying it as well. I'm going to play it a couple of times.
You're going to get some criticism no matter what you do. I found in life, people are not always going to think you're doing the right thing. And if there's to be a Graceland at all, this is the way we have to do it. Thank God that we're doing it privately. You know, it didn't really work out with the state and with the city, but we have control, and we're doing it, I believe, in a way that Elvis would love and appreciate, and we're maintaining it and preserving it for him. So, you know, what can I say? I think Lisa, at the time that she's of age, will be very happy that it's done this way.
Do you think she ever wants to live here?
I don't know, but if she does, it's hers, and it'll all be preserved for her. If ever she decided at the age of 25 that she wanted to maintain it as her personal home, it's for her to do just that, yes.
What does she think about opening it up?
She's very pleased about it. She is very proud of it, and she feels the same, that she would love people to see Graceland.
That's one clip, and there's another one as well. Let me just see if it comes up. That I was going to play 2. That was one of them. But there's another one that I made ages ago. Let's see if it's this one.
After your dad died, I was left really with nothing to work with, and it was a shock when I found out, you know, through all the lawyers and the accountants, that we had nothing really to go back to, because it was either sell Graceland or give it up to the state.
What do you give credit for the preservation of Graceland?
Oh, Priscilla, no question about it. For a girl that didn't know too much about it, you know, she
hands down. There wouldn't be a Graceland today if it wouldn't be for Priscilla.
The estate was literally down to its last $500,000.
I asked, how long do I have? In less than a year to make the decision if it was going to state or auction it off. I'm thinking of opening it up, and maybe, you know, opening it as a museum. They did not want to do that. They felt that, you know, we should just get rid of it, and then whenever, you know who Elvis was or your dad was, and, you know, less than maybe 5 years, basically. I knew better. I know your dad left us a lot of things to work with.
She did that to save Graceland.
Yep.
Right. Okay. Let's.
After your dad died.
I want to pause that. I made that about a year ago. Yeah. And when I made that, I actually believed that Priscilla is the one that saved Graceland from being sold. I didn't have the evidence that I found in the last 5 months. I also believed that it was her idea to launch the museum. And the reason I believe these things, because I wasn't listening. I was like, you know, a bit dumbed out, a bit like just had gone along with the tide. The general tide was Elvis was in the wrong. Elvis was the adulterer and the bad person, and that Priscilla was the innocent angel, the virgin, the victim. I just fell for it. I just went with it, guys. You know, they had this beautiful marriage. It all went wrong because of Elvis. The reason I play the video about the Graceland scammer, the reason I play the video sliders that shows an alternative universe, a parallel universe, the reason I play Back to the Future, time travel, traveling to a different time, is because I'm telling you guys, we have been scammed. We have been tricked and brainwashed, the public. And I'm saying this, that woman isn't the original Graceland scammer. One of you commented that it's amazing what she's got away with, how far it went. Who was it that said that? I'm telling you guys, the original Graceland scammer, for entertainment purposes, in my opinion, our opinion, is Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley is the original Graceland scammer. The stuff that she has got away with is unbelievable. Literally unbelievable. The things I could list to you that the public have fallen for since 1959. So how many years is that? 65 years. How did it happen, guys? Did we travel to a parallel universe? Did we time travel? If Elvis was a bystander looking on now, if Elvis was around now, and he could see how the public would see him now in 2024. Of course, we all know that everyone loves his music. Everyone knows how sexy and good looking he was, charming. But the general public see him in a horrible light. The type of things that the general public say about Elvis is disgusting. How did it happen, guys? Where did it all come from? Yeah. How has this scam been able to have been so successful? And like one of your comments said, I can't remember which one said it. I can't believe how far she was able to get away with it. You know, the Graceland scammer. Well, what we should be saying that about Priscilla. How has she been able to get away with it? How? How did it happen? It makes no sense. I'm going to play this one more time, then we're going to have a little story. Now, I want to say this very clearly. I'm not trying to incite hate for Priscilla. I'm trying to defend Elvis with you guys, Team Elvis. Now, let's just...
I was left really with nothing to work with, and it was a shock when I found out, through all the lawyers.
I was left with nothing to work with. Now, Priscilla, I think her parents are there as well. Jerry Schilling as well, I think. She's basically saying that when Elvis died, yeah, it was quite sudden, even though I believe she knew he was very unwell. But don't forget, when he died, he was chronically sick. They were arguing about money. She had placed a deed of trust to create the lien, a mortgage debt, basically, on Gracelands. So she had become almost part owner of Gracelands. She was demanding a second divorce settlement that she was not entitled to, but she had made a judge agree to it because she accused Elvis of fraud and lying and hiding his assets, hiding his income. So he allowed her to go for a second divorce settlement. And you have the Memphis Mafia tell-all book that had been released. Sonny West, Red West, Dave Hebler. So this hell that Elvis was going through. Everyone knew how sick Elvis was. I don't care what anyone says. Right at the end, in 1977, they knew how sick he was. He was massively over-medicated, in serious need of help, a desperate man with chronic medical conditions that no one could fix, unfixable. Yeah? Everyone knew. But she still hammered him for this divorce. She still went ahead with it. I want this, I want that, I want $1.5 million, $3 million, $725,000, whatever the figure is. I want spousal payments. I want a percentage of the royalties. I want it all. Gimme, 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 gimme. This woman is hammering a very sick man, driving him basically almost to bankruptcy, forcing him to sell his recording rights, in my opinion, even wanting a percentage of his royalties. Yeah? Now let's listen. She says, after he died, I was left with nothing to work with. That money had dried up. Yeah? Bearing in mind, Elvis was still a very successful man. Every one of his concerts was sell out. He had lots of property, lots of income. There's no way that they were ever going to allow the Memphis City were never going to sell Gracelands. It was never going to happen. It was always intended, once Elvis died, it would become some form of living museum, not just Gracelands, even in front of it, the land in front of it. And the Memphis were dealing, and other people. You've got Morgan Maxfield. You have to look him up. Priscilla was once engaged to him. Right, let me just... Right, I might have to do a part 2. We'll see. It's all going on to try and create a living museum. Yeah? There's no way that the Memphis were going to allow Gracelands to be sold. I don't care what anyone says. So when Priscilla says, I had nothing to work with... Hang on a minute. The dogs are having a bit of a bark. Hello. Guys, I'm going to come back and do a part 2. I'll be back. Bing. See you in a second, guys.